Good morning, Twitch.tv. Good morning to YouTube as well. And, of course, good morning, mini Motorways. Let's go to Reykjavik for today's daily challenge, which will once again bring us to Iceland. Second time this week that we get to show off the new map here in mini Motorways. Motorways will require road tiles, and we will not be getting any roundabouts today. That is a darn shame. We'll run this yellow road right over to here. Samurai Sam is not a huge fan of this map. It is tight, it is dense, it is a nifty little peninsula right up here in the northwest. It expands a little bit as we get out, but hey, quick question for the floor and also my audio levels. Can you hear my heat just blasting behind me? Oh, it just cut off. Tremendous. Well, if you could, now it's gone. And if you couldn't, never mind. There was no problem. Why would there be a problem? Alright. This yellow house and this, these yellows are all weirdly positioned right now. You know what? We don't have to do this necessarily. This is going to be longer, but it's going to mean a less awkward angle getting in. You're going to hug the coast right along here. This is all going to be fine. Apparently it was slightly noticeable, but now it's also slightly gone, so c'est la vie. Hulkamat was here first, I think. Yes, Hulkamat was here first, and Hulkamat wants to remember a guy, that guy being Juan Soto. Specifically, Juan Soto before December 6th, 2023, because on December 6th, 2023, Juan Soto was traded to the New York Yankees, who are Hulkamat's favorite team. This all makes sense. Let's take a bridge and 20 more road pieces. Juan Soto, it turns out, is an excellent fucking baseball player. A tremendous baseball player. Sam, did you not know this about Hulkamat? Did you not know that Hulkamat was a Yankee fan? It's true. It is a true fact about Hulk Anthony Matt. That's what the A in Hulkamat stands for, I assume. I'm sure at some point I knew Hulkamat's middle name. It might be buried in my brain somewhere. But anyway. These reds are going to come down here. We finally have a fourth house, which is a house of a different color, which is both a Wizard of Oz joke and a title of the episode, actually. That's a good one. We'll just pencil that into the little notepad document that I keep for random weird things that I say that could be funny, might goose the old SEO, etc. Hulkamat thinks this is the most substantial trade the Yankees have made since A-Rod. You immediately refute your point by mentioning Giancarlo Stanton, Matt. It doesn't feel as big as the Giancarlo Stanton trade felt at the time. With a few years of hindsight and Giancarlo Stanton being basically not full-time player, I can see how it might be, but dude, I can rattle off stats as much as you want. Let's take a bridge here. Dude, my God, it's been a while since I looked at Juan Soto's baseball reference page. Juan Soto has a 421 OBP in his career. That's absurd. That's obscene and absurd. Juan Soto had a 158 OPS plus last year, played in every single game. It is tremendous for the Yankees that they have acquired Juan Soto. He's a wonderful baseball player. He's an excellent hitter. He's going to be a fantastic addition to their ball club. And it speaks very poorly to both... I think, to both the Padres and Nationals that Juan Soto has been traded twice. If I had a nickel for every time a team with a ton of money, because every Major League Baseball team has a ton of money. If I had a nickel for every time a Major League Baseball team with a ton of money has won or gotten close to World Series contendership and had a legitimate generational talent, future Hall of Fame level baseball player on their roster, and then traded that guy for basically nothing so as to avoid paying him, well, I'd have a lot more than 2 nickels, because baseball owners are shitty and Mookie Betts exists. But Juan Soto specifically, I would have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it's happened twice. Sam notes that he's surprised the Yankees aren't considered the frontrunners for Shohei Ohtani, noting again that George Steinbrenner is not running that organization if Da Boss was still alive. Is a thing Yankee fans have been saying pretty much since the moment George Steinbrenner died, and or since 5 years before George Steinbrenner died. So, yeah, if Da Boss was around, the Yankees would have backed up a garbage truck full of money, and possibly a garbage truck full of mobsters, to Shohei Ohtani's various houses, and been like, hey, come play for the Yanks. And one way or another, Shohei Ohtani would have come and played for the Yanks. Instead, he's going to go and play for probably the Dodgers. People seem to think the Blue Jays are in on him, which, if you want to talk about a team with very, 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 very rich ownership that has basically never spent to their means, the Toronto Blue Jays. The Toronto Blue Jays are owned by Canadian Comcast. Okay? They're owned by the Canadian equivalent of Comcast, and they have never spent even as much as the other teams in their division, who, granted, are among the highest spending teams in baseball because they're the Yankees and Red Sox. But listen, the Blue Jays have more money than the Yankees. Well, maybe not the Yankees. The Yankees are the most iconic brand in sports, at least American sports. The Blue Jays have as much money at their disposal as the Red Sox do. They just don't spend it. You come down... I think the Yankees are a more iconic... Well, now we have a question. What is the more iconic American sports brand? The New York Yankees, the Dallas Cowboys, or some third thing I'm forgetting? I'm going to limit this discussion to teams, because if I don't, I think the answer is LeBron James. The Cowboys are more valuable. Is that by like Forbes, I'm guessing you're getting that from? That may be a function of football being more important than baseball, which is something to note for the conversation. You go up here. Football is such a bigger sport. It's probably I don't know. I think the Yankees feel... It is true that the Yankees never had a show just about their cheerleaders. It is also true that the Yankees don't have cheerleaders, aside from, sports writers. But, man, this whole conversation is silly and subjective, so I'm probably giving it too much thought already. I think the New York Yankees feel more iconic and meaningful than the Cowboys. This could just be, like, I grew up, I was growing up, like, in the early 90s when I was vaguely aware of football, was when the Cowboys were were winning their Super Bowls, at least their most recent run of Super Bowls. They have been a historically successful franchise, and they've won a whole bunch of stuff. Go back to Tom Landry in the early days of the NFL and all that. But in terms of the modern Cowboys, I feel like the modern Cowboys have been they've been irrelevant more frequently than the Yankees, which lends me to the belief that the Yankees are more meaningful and relevant. Does any of that make sense? The Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders, however, are among the more iconic group of ridiculously underpaid and misrepresented employees in sports, just because they're NFL cheerleaders and also the most famous group of NFL cheerleaders. Like, that's a perfect storm of such a valuable brand, and the people who built it got so little. So, that's nice. I've managed to work it, well, I suppose it's not surprising that I've managed to work an anti-capitalist rant into sports, especially American sports. Anyway, what are we going to do here? That's a good question. You got this yellow business right here. I've got this clump of yellows right here. I do have 2 motorways. This could be a very complicated road situation, or I could just say F it, have a motorway. I'm leaning toward complicated road situation, honestly. There's no great... Well, you know what? Hold on. I don't even have a roundabout. I was thinking I would build a roundabout, but I don't have one, and I just remembered that the game has specifically told me it's never giving me one. So that's going to answer the question there. We're going to come down this way. We're going to rebuild this road. We're going to pop this right here. We're going to put this very fine traffic light back, and we're going to have ourselves a motorway. I answered the question. There. It's like Cody Rhodes with stories, except I actually finished mine. Some stories end with, and the hero never got what he wanted. So, listen, Cody Rhodes can finish his story whenever he wants. Oh, random wrestling shot. Let's see here. You're a purple house. That's annoying. Can I get one more purple, please? I kind of don't want to deal with all of this. No? Okay. Well, give me a motorway, which I will then immediately deploy. Motorway number 2. Get this up to here. You know what? We can swing those particular arms from this side to that side. You get over there. Okay. Hi there. Doot, doot, doot. You reds are all going to work your way down here. Okay. Hulkamat says that finish the story remains the funniest thing in wrestling because Dusty Rhodes, Cody Rhodes' father and the man after whom Cody pretty much models himself. I know we've done Let's Remember a Guy, Roddy Piper, but we'll do it again in a second here. Let's see, what was I saying? Dusty never wanted to win the world title. That's true, probably. I don't know. I don't know much about Dusty Rhodes. It is also true that Bruno Sammartino had more matches in his first 9 months as champion than Roman Reigns has had since winning the belt a decade ago or whenever he won it. Listen, WWE is bad. I don't know how I have to keep telling this to people. There's like 1.5 million people who watch Raw every week. I should go to each and every one of their houses and be like, you know this is bad, right? Like this isn't good. There's a good version of this, but this isn't it. Now, granted, the good version of this also has a lot of the tropes of this, so now's a wonderful jumping on point. You'll be very familiar, but, there's a better version of this. Coffee Cafe says that the blue-green mix, so this right here, would be better traveling further. Because they're traveling further, they deserve the motorway more than this yellow road. I mean, I guess that makes sense. So you're saying, what, ship the blues up here, the greens down here, and run motorway number 1 from right here over to here? In theory, that makes sense. I'm not going to say it doesn't make sense, because in theory, that absolutely makes sense. I don't know. I did see the Swerve Strickland Mark Briscoe match in the sense that I was present in my living room and the television was on, and I observed a good amount of it. It was good. It was good. There are so many things I could do that, don't involve going door to door to WWE fans and still like go to consumers and say, hey, that thing you're consuming is garbage, right? It's true. I could do that to a lot of things. I won't do that because it involves effort and money and time and bleh. So, but yeah, like, okay, back in the day, the worst part of Dynamite was that Dynamite had a lot of good but not great wrestling matches where I would be willing to bet my life, my house, and my cat on the winner. And that's not the worst part of any given episode of AEW Dynamite, and it was not the worst part of last night's episode of AEW Dynamite, but Swerve Strickland versus Mark Briscoe was an example of a good but not great wrestling match where I would have been willing to bet my life, my house, and my cat on the winner, and I was right. So it was good. It was really good. Mark Briscoe is really good. He also, and I'm just speaking to his AEW presentation, I don't mean to shit on him or his legacy. I understand that he's a very meaningful and important independent wrestler. Mark Briscoe, in All Elite Wrestling, doesn't mean shit. He never fucking wins anything important. He's never gonna win anything important. He's a good but not great wrestler, and every single match he has, I would be willing to bet my life, my house, and my cat on the outcome, and I would be right. Let's take... I have 5 bridges. We're going to take 2 and 3 traffic lights. You go there. And listen, there are places in professional wrestling for good but not great professional wrestlers where every single match they have, you know exactly who's going to win if you can read booking at all. There's a place for those people. It's just that All Elite Wrestling has 74 of them, and they keep signing new ones. Yes. It's ascending order of importance, Sam. Duh, that's the entire joke. The entire joke structure is that I'm listing these things in ascending order of importance, with my cat being the most important one. Speaking of which, cat. Or at least treats for cat. Hi. Come here. You are a kitty cat. And you should get a treat. Because Coffee Cafe said that you should get a treat. Yes, come here. Come here. Come here. Can you get into a point where I can surprise and scoop you? Nope, you're too smart for that today. Okay, go get the treat. It's over that way. Be gone. Alright, we need to get purples up over to here, which is unfortunate. But, Jipers. This right here is bad. How are we gonna do this? I hate the placement of these 2 purples. There's no great way to, unless, hold on. Could maybe have something here. It involves taking this yellow off of this road, which is unfortunate but necessary. You 3. Yeah, the yellow guy, you're just part of this now. You come up this way. You go down there. Okay. These right here will move this traffic light from here to here. There. Okay. There. Now, this tree must die. Goodbye, tree. This green must join this road. Samurai Sam wants to remember Roddy Piper, one of the most influential and important wrestlers in all of the times. all of the times Roddy Piper was. He was never world champion despite being so important, but hey, listen, not everybody can be world champion. And Roddy Piper did a lot of his best and most famous work in the 1980s WWF, where Hulk Hogan was gonna be the world champion, and that was just the end of the story. So, and Roddy Piper was smart enough to realize that if he got into a feud with Hulk Hogan, he was gonna lose that feud to Hulk Hogan, and he saw what happened to dudes who lost feuds to Hulk Hogan. King Kong Bundy is an example of what happens to a dude who loses a feud to Hulk Hogan. He got to main event WrestleMania, which is nice. He got to main event WrestleMania 2, which meant that it didn't really mean anything, but he got to main event WrestleMania, and then he was out of the company a few years later and basically irrelevant as a wrestler for the rest of his career. Roddy Piper got to be one of the more famous and popular and beloved dudes of all time. To this day, even people say that they loved Roddy Piper. MJF's cat is named Piper. Ronda Rousey loves Roddy Piper. People who are good people also love Roddy Piper. So, you know, I mentioned MJF. MJF appears to be a good person. That's nice. Was he pied? I'm sure that at some point in his life, someone did a skit that involved slamming a banana cream pie into Roddy Piper's face. That's just a thing that would be done. Of course that happened. That had to have happened. This purple is going to go over here. This purple is going to go this way. We're going to move motorway number 2 down to here so that these 3 are nice and close to it. You 3 go up that way. You come down and join this. You are angry. You know what? We had a discussion earlier about the potential merits of taking these blues and greens and running a motorway for them, and I didn't think it was worth running a motorway just to do that. But given the danger problems we're having with these 6 coming over to this, yeah, we're going to go that way. It's smart is what it was, Hulkamat. We'll take a motorway. Roddy Piper beat Hulk Hogan in WCW. Nobody beat Hulk Hogan in WCW. WCW existed so that Hulk Hogan could satisfy old grudges and make money. Hulk Hogan made a lot of money off of WCW. A lot of people made a lot of money off of WCW. And Tony Khan is currently making money off of WCW. But enough about the booking of the Devil Angle and the Nick Wayne's mom turn. Until they didn't. It's true. A lot of people made a lot of money off of WCW until they couldn't because there wasn't a WCW anymore. And hey, as soon as people decided they could stop making money off of it, or they couldn't make any more money off of it, it stopped existing. That's how things work, even in 2000. Sigh. Anyway, we've got a whole bunch of greens right here, just kind of chilling. You're a green, you can point up that way and actually join this motorway. That's basically fine. I'm okay with you hitching a ride on this motorway. Yeah, these blues, like, we just went through rush hour, basically. It's fine now. Let's take a motorway, but I'm noticing and being reminded that this yellow business up here exists. This yellow business up here has, like, fucking nobody going to it, so that might be bad. Might not be great. You know what we can do to assist with that? First of all, this yellow can point that away. These 2 greens right here can point that away. We'll start assembling a nice little green firm in case we need a bunch of greens to get somewhere real fast. But, you know what I'm noticing is, again, yeah, this little clump of yellows exists, which is not necessarily the best thing. Let's take this. We're going to have 1, 2, 3 yellows. And I'm just going to swing them up this way on motorway number 5. And I think I'm even going to pull this one off of this house and just leave the care of this business to these 3 yellow houses. I think these 3 yellow houses with their motorway are going to do a better job maintaining this business than this one house did being directly adjacent to it. And that's just because it's 3 houses. 3 houses with a big long motorway is better than 1 houses without, basically. Observe. We're catching up. We're tossing yellows in. We can even, if we want to get fancy with it. I've got 5 of these, so I might as well just do that. Yeah. We're going to put these 2 on. We're going to have a tiny little bridge. And now it's 5 houses on motorway number 5 going up over here. Tremendous. Okay. This big clump of greens right here. All of these greens are lined up in a nice straight line. Why can't everybody else be like that? Hey, listen. Not everything is such an urban planning beauty as this green road. This green road is a wondrous marvel thing. Not so much this business. This business up here is angry. Now, granted, this business up here, do you only have 2? No, you must have 4. Yeah, okay. So, ow, my shoulder's itchy. Itchy shoulder. Okay. So you only have 4 houses going to you, and you're mad. Those 2 facts may be related some way. You know what? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 going up here. I'm just going to chop all of these off of this road. Yeah, we're not using any of those. So we're going to chop all of those off of that road. And then, is there a way for me to get these up here that doesn't involve a... No. If I had... Ow, ow, and ow. If I had a roundabout, I could maybe redraw this purple road and then make a roundabout right here. But I don't, and I'm never going to. So instead, we're just going to place and draw motorway number 6. And suddenly that's going to be 8 more cars coming up to support that circle, which is going to be fine. Give me a 5th bridge. 5th bridge is going to be more useful than a 5th traffic light, but I really would have liked a 7th motorway. So Roddy Piper was never he was a good wrestler. He was really good at, the athletic feat of professional wrestling, particularly for the time in which he was most famous. You didn't need to be an amazing athlete as a pro wrestler. You didn't need to have, the standard for quality of in-ring work, basically, was lower in the 80s than it is today. That's just true. But, for his time, Roddy Piper was a good, fine, solid professional wrestler. But the reason he got so over is that he was the most charismatic. This class is going to die, by the way. This is just parking lot problems. This is what happens when you got 2 circles working together, basically. They always run into this problem. The parking lots just can't handle it eventually. It doesn't help that green is going through a rush hour. Every green is mad right now. This green is mad despite having all of this support. At a certain level, there's just nothing we can do. This purple up here, I might be able to send some support to, actually. Oh, hi. Well, part of the reason you're mad is that you only have 2 houses supporting you. You, come right up here. I would also be I would read an article or watch a YouTube video about exactly how the mechanics of mini motorways work. I don't know if such a video exists. I do know that the good folks at Dinosaur Polo Club poke their head in every once in a while because they commented on a recent video. Hi there, DPC. Love the video game. It's excellent. If such a video exists or could exist, that would be cool to know stuff about. So part of the reason this business is mad is that this motorway had been its only line of support, and it had 2 houses on it. So let's move this motorway right here to grab these 3. In the meantime, we're going to pull these 4 up here. Listen, if anybody I should reach out to Casey Lucas, actually. Casey Lucas follows me on Twitter. That's the kind of thing Casey Lucas might be up for doing. And again, I say, So previously, these purples had been stealing this yellow away from stuff. Now this yellow is going to steal these purples away from the same stuff, basically. Is all of this gonna catch up? Is there anything more that I could be doing? I've got these 2 light blues here, but I can't really... I don't have a motorway for them. If I wanted to get these 2 light blues over to here, I would have to draw the most ridiculous bridge I've ever drawn. Whereas with this one, I can just do that. So that's nice. That's going to create a traffic problem right here. See? Traffic problem. But it's basically fine. Here, you come up that way, swing in like so. You're okay. You're mad. This circle's mad. Everybody's angry. Give me more bridges. Are we going to get to 3,000? It's going to be very close right down here. I think we're gonna. Because I think there's enough yellow coming in. Yeah, there's enough yellow coming in to where we're going to tick over 3K, and then this is going to fall apart. 3,016 commuters. Roddy Piper was a tremendously talented, charismatic dude, a wonderful promo. He was in an age where you got over with your ability to cut a promo, and he got over with his ability to cut a frickin' promo. Dude. Top 3% in Reykjavik, I nudged out Samurai Sam. Let us drop some celebratory GGs in the chat. We got 3,000 hits. We're a guaranteed Hall of Famer. Hooray! Hooray! Okay. Now listen, I don't toot my own horn very much on this channel, but if there is a Hall of Fame of mini Motorways streamers, I am gonna compile my way into it. I'm gonna Craig Biggio myself into that Hall of Fame. God damn it. Unless I took steroids, which I didn't. There isn't even caffeine in my water this morning. There were 2 very important words in that sentence, but let's move on. We shall move on to the Wordle. Where'd my Wordle window go? There, my Wordle window went. I could start with there, but that would be silly. Great is a marginally better word than there. Would have given me pretty much the same information. But hey. I did bet on baseball. That's true. I have bet on baseball. Okay, I don't do it much, but I have, in fact, bet on baseball. Sam says it's kind of funny how Hall of Fame fans have looked on steroid people more favorably over time, but you never hear the case for Rafael Palmeiro. Well, here's the thing. In my opinion, the kind of fan who doesn't really care about steroids looks at a guy like Rafael Palmeiro and is like, he was good for a long time. He wasn't like great or anything. Rafael Palmeiro's Hall of Fame case always came mostly, not entirely. Like Rafael Palmeiro played for 20 years and he, for his career, had like a 132 OPS, and I say like because I'm literally looking at his baseball reference page right now. But he had a great career. He was a great player. You can make a Hall of Fame case for Rafael Palmeiro. But all the time, his support came from the more traditionally minded, anti-sabermetric, baseball 1.0 kind of thinking type guys. Those guys, 3,000 hits and 500 homers is no small feat. But, Rafi Palmeiro's support came from the kind of people who were gonna turn on you if you, 1, took steroids and then 2, lied to Congress about it. And Rafael Palmeiro, as you noted, 1, took steroids and 2, lied to Congress about it. So, yeah. What could this word be? It could be flesh. Could absolutely be flesh. It's not, but it could have been. And we have learned a thing. Could be sleek. Is there a word could be that isn't a double-letter word? Probably, but, could be a double-letter word. You never know. Holcomet notes that Bonds and Clemens never got suspended for steroids because they were pretty much out of baseball or, just never failed a test. Rafael Palmeiro failed a test, got suspended. That's true. I would also note that Barry Bonds is, I'm gonna be very conservative in this estimation here. Barry Bonds is one of the greatest hitters of all time, and Roger Clemens is one of the best pitchers of the last half century. Okay? Rafael Palmeiro was a great baseball player. And listen, I'm not a great baseball player. Nobody in this conversation is a great baseball player. Also, it turns out that sleek was a good guess in the sense that it is a double-letter word, and it's sleep. Right? Right. Hooray! Wish I could get some, but I have to work. Okay. That is the Wordle. Let us pop over to connections. Been enjoying this game. But yeah, in terms of drug usage, like Rafael Palmeiro failed a drug test and got suspended. That never happened to Roger Clemens. That never happened to Barry Bonds. That never happened to David Ortiz, who most certainly did steroids at least one point in his career. There's a whole bunch of guys who probably did steroids or admitted to it or used HGH or some other thing or got implicated one way or another and never actually pissed hot, failed a test, got suspended. Rafael Palmeiro, pissed hot, failed a test, got suspended. Alex Rodriguez, pissed hot, failed a test, got suspended. Okay, there are a lot of very small words here, but I also see Hallmark, Bravo, USA, and E. These are all cable channels. However, I saw a TikTok last night that basically went into how this person goes about their connections, and the thing they do is they look for a pair, and once they find that pair, they try to expand the pair to 4 and exactly 4. Because if you get to 4 and exactly 4, that's probably right. However, if you get to more than 4, you're probably not on the right track. Because I'm looking at these and thinking, okay, these are all cable channels, but BET is also a cable channel. So BET could have something to do with any of these other things. These all appear to be state abbreviations? Actually, yeah. Hold on. HI for Hawaii, OK for Oklahoma, LA for Louisiana, and MA for Massachusetts. Sam, you could be right that the cable channel is technically branded as E with an exclamation point. We may need to come back with that, but there are no other state abbreviations here, so I'm confident in that one. Boom. Okay. Now I could spend a guess on USA, Bravo, BET, and Hallmark. We could also try to think of some of these. Okay, so Tom and Romeo are persons' names. What is yo? Like, yo is a greeting. Yo is a syllable. Yo is... Oh. These, I've got it. These are things that if you double them, make words. Because a yo-yo is a toy. A pom-pom is a thing a cheerleader shakes. A boo-boo is an owie. And a tom-tom is a drum. Or a GPS, but also a drum. Right? Tango's not a thing. Yeah. That's right. Ha ha! Okay. Now, my problem... Okay. If... I don't think cable channels is right. I'm thinking Bravo, Romeo, E, and Tango are things you would hear in like a playhouse or an opera theater. Oh, Sam thinks Alpha Bravo Tango Romeo because these are all like phonetic alphabet words, which threw me for a loop because I thought alpha in like alpha, beta, Charlie, gamma, delta, etc. was alpha with a PH, but yeah. Yep, in the NATO phonetic alphabet, Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Delta. Hulkamat, how could you possibly forget Echo? If you ask any wrestling fan of the last decade to name 6 fucking NATO phonetic words, they're going to say in order Sierra Hotel, India Echo, Lima Delta. And then someone might say Shield just to be funny. Speaking of glorious, USA is a cable channel. Okay. It's a tricky little game. You gotta wrap your head around it in just the right way. Whiskey Tango Foxtrot Coffee Cafe said it first. I missed it. Listen, I don't always look at chat. It's this little window. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right, Coffee Cafe. I scrolled up and you said it. I missed it. I'm sorry. It happens. But hey, we got it in 4. That's what matters, isn't it? That and all of the victorious glory we can have. All right, an immaculate grid. We need Hall of Famers. You did use more of the alphabet. That's true. We need Hall of Famers. We need dudes who had a 20-win season. We need Oaklands and St. Lucians and Cubs and Brewers. And sadly, there is no Pedro to remember. But, that's okay. All right. A Milwaukee Brewer who is in the Hall of Fame is Paul Molitor. We're not going to be fancy about this. A Chicago Cub who is in the Hall of Fame is Arnold Banks. A pitcher who had a 20... Wait! Oh my... Wait a second. Did he get to 20 wins? When would Pedro have had a 20-win season? Probably 1999 or 2000. Like, he was really fucking good in 1999 or 2000. Okay, if there's gonna be a Pedro on this map, it's gonna be the bottom right corner. So, Pedro Martinez had a 20-win season? Pedro Martinez had a 20-win season! Huzzah! Oh, 23. God damn, he was good. Also, he had a bunch of wins in 1999. Those facts are only somewhat correlated, but god damn, Pedro Martinez was good. And Oakland A, who had a 20-win season, is a wonderful question. Lefty Grove probably fits one of these. I just don't know which one. Think of your Super League old fucks, the Goog. I mean, listen, I've had some Super League old fucks, one of whom was Lefty Grove. Lefty Grove played for the Red Sox. Did he play for the Philadelphia Athletics? I think he played for the Philadelphia Athletics. That sounds about right. All right, Moose wants me to use Dave Stewart for the A's. That sounds accurate. Sure, here we go. Dave Stewart. Did Lefty Grove play for the Cardinals? Barry Zito for the A's? Yeah, okay. See, the thing is, I can name a bunch of old baseball players, right? I can name Bob Gibson. Moose has reminded me that Bob Gibson exists. Thank you. I can name a bunch of old-timey, like, dead ball baseball players. I just can't fucking name any of their teams, mostly. Like, I know Ty Cobb played for the Tigers, I think. I know Joe Jackson played for the White Sox because of the whole Black Sox scandal. I know Old Hoss Radbourn existed. I think he played for the St. Louis Browns at one point because I think I remember a picture of him wearing a Browns jersey. But for the most part, it's like, unless you played for the Murderers Row Yankees, I don't fucking know. Like, I think Lefty Grove played for the Red Sox at one point. Did he? I don't know. I am aware that Cy Young played for the Red Sox at some point, but I think he was bad when he was on the Red Sox, or at least not Cy Young when he was on the Red Sox, but he might be. I don't fucking remember. I'm aware that these people exist, but that's about it. Speaking of people who I'm aware they exist, he was in fact Cy Young when he was on the Red Sox, so that's good for him. Oh God, we need to name some dudes. And Oakland A and Chicago Cub is John Lester. We could have also gone Cardinals and Cubs for John Lester. He played for both of those teams. A Brewer and Cardinal. Sadly, we can't use Zach Greinke for the center column. We do need a Cubinal still. Larry Walker fit? No, Larry Walker was a Cardinal, but never a Cub. Sammy Sosa was a Cub, but never a Cardinal. Mark Grace fits? No, I don't think Mark Grace played for the Cardinals. Christian Yelich was a Brewer, but never a Cardinal. Jed Lowry was an A, but never a Brewer. John Lackey was a Cardinal and a Cub. Thank you, Hulkamat. John Lackey was absolutely a Cardinal and a Cub. Wait, why should John Lackey be in jail? What did John Lackey do? I feel like this is an old internet forum meme that Hulkamat is resurrecting, that John Lackey should be in jail. Did he throw at a Yankee or something? But it's an old Deadspin article. Okay. All right, that sounds right. John Lackey, star of the famous fuck.gif. Oh, excuse me. Okay, now we need to name some Brewers. Which, oh boy. Okay, well, we've already used Paul Molitor. It's a good start. Craig Counsell was a Brewer. Was he a Cardinal? He was a scrappy white dude, so I think there's a clause in the contracts with the scrappy white guy union that if any of them ever gets to be in Major League Baseball, they have to at some point play for the Cardinals. That sounds right. I believe that. This sounds like a true fact. It's not a true fact, actually. A scrappy white guy union might be a better title of the episode than a house of a different color. Especially given that I think I might have used a house of a different color before. All right, Scrappy White Guy Union is the title of the episode. Listen, Moose, the St. Louis Cardinals kind of are the New England Patriots of baseball. You're not wrong. They're, especially in the last 20 years or so, they're a really, really good team with tied to a slightly overrated old coach who was legitimately great in his time, but is also now completely and totally washed. Beloved by scrappy white guys and shitbags and Republicans. Those three things are basically a circle. Not quite a circle, but that, three-headed Venn diagram, almost a circle. Scrappy white guys, shitheads, and Republicans. Anyway, we need more Brewers. We need a more Brewer. Did Ben Sheets make it to the... No, I don't think he was an A. Zach Greinke was never an A. CC Sabathia was never a Cardinal. F it. Wade Miley was never a Cardinal? Was he? Maybe? Bang, fuck it. Wade Miley. Wade Miley was totally Cardinal, right? Wrong! I was wrong. Colton Wong. Oh, how could I possibly have forgotten Colton Wong, or that Raleigh Fingers was a Brewer. Here's Hulkamat's Immaculate Grid from yesterday. Grover Cleveland Alexander was a Cub and a Cardinal. Jim Edmonds would have fit Cubs and Cardinals somewhere. Was Jim Edmonds a Brewer? No, I don't think Jim Edmonds was a Brewer. Luke Voigt was, though. Bob Carruthers. Look at that handsome man. Look at that handsome Bob Carruthers. Eddie Plank. I like me some Eddie Plank. Use him a lot. Rube Waddle. Good for him. Check out the mustache on King Kelly. He's either a baseball player or a cigarette model, and there's no in between. All right. That is going to do it for us here today on Good Morning Mini Motorways. Folks, I probably won't stream tonight because I have an all-day assignment for work, but who knows? Maybe it'll not be all day or cancel, or everything in my house will burn down except my PlayStation and my router and my cat. And in those conditions, we'll do some Valkyria Chronicles 4 tonight. If not, I'll be back tomorrow morning for another edition of Good Morning Mini Motorways, or a show that actually sounds like words instead of that mushy mush that I just said. Thank y'all so much for being here. Have a good day. Goodbye.